Today we're going to talk about part 2, or the number 6 through 10 of 10 attributes of highly successful companies. Stick around to the end of this. We've got another tip that we want to discuss relative to how we best facilitate the sales process or the capital sourcing process for our clients. So picking up from where we left off last time, number 6 on our list of 10 attributes of highly successful companies is intellectual property, technology, or software. So collectively, is there some kind of enablement, support, or acceleration of the business incorporating, whether it's software, whether it's technology, whether it's specific intellectual property, brands, trademarks, whatever it might be. But oftentimes there is an element of the business that differentiates it. We'll talk more about that on number 10, but from an asset perspective that the company owns or incorporates, that helps it. Number 7 is strong financial performance. This could have been number 1, this could be anywhere on the list, but you know it's going to be on this list, is the fundamentals of the company are strong. Revenue is growing. Gross profit is strong and growing. Operating expenses are staying well managed, and EBITDA, pre-tax profit, is growing both notionally or objectively by itself year over year, but also as a percentage of revenue, showing that margin expansion. And this gets into number 8, which is operating leverage. And so the idea of operating leverage is that as revenues grow, profit grows at an increasing rate. And what I mean by this is, let's say you have one person at your company that gets paid $80,000 to do X amount of work. Well, if you could get twice the amount of revenue and they would be able to support that same amount of work, then all of the incremental revenue is going to be profitable. And so when you think of a business as having this core of operating expenses, as revenue grows, if operating expenses can grow at a slower rate than revenue, then you are maximizing or effectuating operating leverage. EBITDA, pre-tax profit, will grow at a higher rate. And so the ideal type of company, just as round numbers, if revenue doubles, we want the margin of profit as a percentage of revenue to double, thereby quadrupling EBITDA, pre-tax profit, while revenue doubles. Number 9 is growth drivers and trajectory. So not only do we want to highlight in any situation or look at in a company all of the things that are there, we want to know what the potential is. What are the catalysts to future growth? What are the drivers that could attain even further accelerated growth, even further revenue shares? And so while it's important to see what's there, crystallize that narrative correctly, we also want to look ahead and say, what are the future levers, pulleys, switches, buttons that can be hit, things that can be done, things that can be pursued that will further grow the business in a positive direction. And lastly, which is a point we harp on in a lot of these videos, is the durable competitive advantage, the edge. What is the special sauce of the company? That is, what is the thing that makes the company unique in the area that we specialize in? So $1 to $10 million in profit. Again, we've always said you're not competing on commodity pricing, you're not competing on commodity products or services. Therefore, there has to be something special in defining that edge. What is it that you do better? What creates the competitive moat that other people can't get to? Why are you special? Why would someone pick you, even if you cost more than a competitor? That's an important thing to define, an important thing that we look for, and oftentimes serves as kind of the wrapper around all of the other fundamental points of the business. And so those are the second 5 of the 10 attributes of highly successful companies: the IP, tech, software, the financial fundamentals and performance of the business, the growth drivers and future catalysts, the operating leverage that is capable in the business, and the competitive advantage, the edge, the durable competitive advantage that is of the company. And so for this video, one more item that we want to add to the end of this is another thing that we really like to implement in all of our processes. And some of these might sound like common sense, but you'd be amazed at how many times we don't see them happen. And for this video, it's define the next step. So it's our job when we're communicating the opportunity to a prospective acquirer, to a prospective capital provider, to give them the information. But once they have the information, you have to define the path forward. Oftentimes you see companies just get all this information, they say, great, I guess this could be interesting, what's next, right? But giving them the next chapter, right? Saying, hey, once you have a peek to look at this information, if it's interesting, sign this non-disclosure agreement, we'll give you access to a preliminary data room. From there, we're going to ask for follow-up questions. From there, we're going to have some further phone calls. From there, we're going to proceed towards indications of interest of letter of intent, right? But giving the place marks, giving the next step. A mentor of mine once told me, like, never leave a meeting without having a next step that everybody is aware of, because that's what's ultimately going to facilitate the process forward. So you can give all this information to somebody, and if it just sits there, it doesn't do anyone any good. So it's important to define what the next step is once they have this information, once all of these attributes are communicated clearly and concisely. What's next? What's the next step? How do we proceed from there? And ultimately, that's what winnows down the addressable audience to those that may be interested, to those that certainly are interested, to those that are going to put forward offers. So those are the thoughts for today. Hope the week continues to go well for everyone. Keep pushing forward. God bless. We'll see you over next time.